Spain has officially fallen. Tens of thousands. All military-age men are flooding the country right now. If you don't think this is all by design, then you haven't heard the Kalergi plan. Check this out.
That the Jews want to exterminate the European race. Richard Coudenhove Kalergi, who is the father of the European Union and who was funded by the Jewish bankers Rothschild and Warburg. Now, this man wrote a book called Praktischer Idealismus in 1925, in which he stated that the Jews are a master race and that the Jews can only assume the throne, rule over the world, by weakening the European race, and that the means to weakening the European race would be to dissolve all the European nations, destroy all their cultural heritage and their national traditions, and replace that with the European Union, and then to invite in Africans, Middle Easterners, and Asians to dilute the blood of Europeans through miscegenation to the point where they became a degenerate mixed race. And then at that point, these people would no longer have any sense of nationhood. And the ancient Jewish messianic prophecies of world rule out of Jerusalem, with Jews maintaining their nationhood and their national status, it would fulfill the Jewish messianic prophecies that the Jews would then rule the world. And this was completely in line with what Nikolai had written in 1917 and has manifested itself recently with the invasion of immigrants from Africa, from the Middle East, and from Asia into Europe, America, and Australia. And they are deliberately setting about to genocide the white race and destroy all sense of nationhood and national heritage and national Spain.
All right, Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. On to the life foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. Just a rendition of the buffoonery of of how these devils planning this thing out. And what we're seeing is a world in a chaotic state because it's order out of chaos. That's what this is about. It's just order out of chaos. Now you hear what the guy said about this plan, which this is nothing new. This is nothing slanderous, and this is what was been said long ago. But what they fail to understand in their so-called rich history is that Europe has never been just the so-called white man's land, period. Europe always been a mixed history. Now the irony of it all, and I mean it is really ironic that they think they could fool the masses of the people and tell them basically like, look, they're gonna try to mix Europe so that they don't have no genetic inheritance when they never had it from the get-go. Now the empire that you morons love to mimic, you love mimicking, you love to say, yeah, this particular empire, and you fail to understand that even that empire was mixed race of people. And that empire I'm talking about is the Roman Empire. All right, the Romans ran the known world. The known world was every race on the planet Earth, and they ran it. All right, Rome wasn't just for the Romans or the Italians. There were other people that was there. All this is just a way of their racist thought process. They try to maintain the lie that they believe. All right, that they're originally from Europe. They're not originally from Europe. Esau, the so-called white man, is not originally from Europe. And he's not originally from the Caucasus Mountains as well. He's from the south of Judea, Mount Seir. All right. All this plotting, this planning, and we're gonna just take over here and look, all these different lands always had a mix. Even what's this guy name? Was it Thomas Jefferson? I think it was Thomas Jefferson. Brother Elder Malcolm had brought it on the book. I can't remember if it was Thomas Jefferson. Forgive me. My memory is real bad. And I can't look it up because I don't know who Pacific. But basically he had made a statement. Matter of fact, swarthy. That's what I'm gonna. What is swarthy? Swarthy is an adjective meaning dark in color, complexion, or skin tone. It describes a person who's naturally has dark skin, an olive complexion, because olives they are dark olives. So nice try. A skin that has been darkened by the it's a darkened and weathered by the sun, which is quote unquote black people. He made a statement. Let me see, Swarthy, Thomas Jefferson, or was it Benjamin Franklin? I can't remember. Let's see. It's not this guy. He made a statement many, 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 many. Nice try. I just put it in because, oh no. Okay, it was Benjamin Franklin. Oh, wow. I didn't even have to look that deep. Wow. The water Yahabashim Yahshai. Hey, man, the water Yahabashim Yahshai for the power of the internet. All right. The brother had read it in the book. I don't remember what the book was, but it was a book where they pretty much made a statement of they can't let America become black because the Germans and people of that nature, they were a swarthy color because Europe at one for a long period of time was ran by black people. It says, who did Benjamin Franklin consider swarthy? In Europe, the Spaniards, the Italians, French, Russians, and Swedes are generally of what we call swarthy complexion, as are the Germans also. The Saxons are only accepted, which is bullshit, who with the English make the principal body of white people on the face of the earth. I could wish that their numbers were increased. This is out of, wow, Franklin's observation concerning the increase of mankind. So Benjamin Franklin, who's in the $5 bill, if I'm not mistaken, made a statement basically saying that everybody in Europe at that particular time, even though there were slaves here, but most Europeans, they were a swarthy complexion. Why? Because there were black people there. So now this notion that um, making Europe, keeping Europe white, this false fraudulent idea that is being pushed of the bounds of the nations are being taken over is all fraudulent. It's just nothing but chaos. And what it's really doing is upsetting Edomites. Edomites believing that their world's coming to an end, which their world is coming to an end, but they believe that they're being overrun by people of darker complexion. The same dark people that they stole land from, the same dark people that were here way before they were, Now they seen their empire fall apart. See the irony of it all? But it's all orchestrated to do what? To push a race war. All right? Because throughout history, it was well known there were dark nations there were nations mixed all over the place. So nice try. You can fool the ignorant, but you can't fool the educated. All right. That's why you have the Russian icons. Matter of fact, since I'm talking about it, let me see if I can. New phone, so forgive me. Where is my internet thingy? There. No, that's the lock. Yeah, internet thingy. There was the internet thing. Where did no? That's internet bomb. That's why you have things of that's black icons, Russian icons, right? Russian icons that was way before 1492. So why would they have? I always go to it. Some odd reason. Oh, I didn't prepare. That's why. That's one. At the Epicureans. Why? Let me see, because I don't know if they took it down. Hopefully not. Okay, depictions, the true depictions of the Israel. All right, this is way before 1492. Why would they have of darker complexion ruling before 1492? Why was why would they do they have is it Sweden? I believe it's Sweden of people depicting themselves as black Moors, right? Is a national thing. Is it just to tease? Why does the Most High look like a dark skinned man right here? And the son of the Most High look like a dark skinned man? Okay. This is prior to 1492. They're really, really trying to fool the masses. Like, yeah, keep the Europeans in Europe. And no, the Europeans in Europe, no matter how they depict it, was always men of color. All right. You have the Japhetic people that dwelled there. Then you had the Israelites who were Anglo Saxons, angels of Isaac, okay, the British and so forth. These are men of color, dark skinned men. Why would here's the $1 million question? Why would they have pictures of dark skinned individuals prior to 1492? Why couldn't they get rid of this? Why did um Putin, was it 2 years ago? No, no, this is during Trump's last administration. Why did Putin threaten to show the Russian icons? Because he was trying to cause an upheaval, but the average American is so stupid that nothing of any educational purpose will affect the people because the people are so goddamn dumb. All right, they're dumb. It's only here in America that lies remains the same. The Europeans are white. The American forefathers, they conquered this land and they didn't steal it. God is white and the son of the God is white. All this, this is the only land that actually promotes this madness. So when you hear about, like I said earlier, if you hear about Europe being overflooding with different nations, so there's always been a mixed multitude. Habakkuk 2 and 4 says, Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. So his spirit is off. Esau. All right. Like the scripture says, definitely have to get this. Oh, how did I get there? I don't know. Psalms 58 and 3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. So they're natural born liars. Everything that come out these people's mouth is a lie. It's a narrative. It's a story. They say the best lawyer you could have, a good lawyer could spin a story. That's all. When people go to court, all right, the lawyer that does it the best, of course, is they make backdoor deals, but the lawyer that sells you the better story always wins, hands down. And selling the story doesn't mean you telling the truth. Telling the story is making a guilty person look innocent and an innocent person look guilty. That's the modern day law way. So in order to do that, you gotta be a goddamn good liar. You gotta be a professional liar. You have to be a liar that could paint a picture. Not a good story. You could be a storyteller, but you gotta lie your ass off. Well, that's why majority of great lawyers are Edomites. All right, mainly the small hat wearers, because were liars from their youth. So that the soul that dwells in these people is off. Everything that comes out their mouth is a lie. All right. Scripture says, Job 13:4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Forgers meaning what it says here is as for you smear me with lies. When you look up the word forger, smear is in there, matter of fact. Forge, which the Hebrew word is tapal, to smear, which is true. But here's the key: plaster over, stick glue. When you plaster something over, it means that something had to exist. So they tell lies because they know the truth. They know the truth that blacks did run Europe, but the narrative they're trying to push for those Europeans that predominantly appeal is that they're being overrun. Their homelands are being taken from them. In reality, their homeland is not really their homeland. They don't even belong in the areas that they claim to be. All right. This whole breaking down or removing neighbors' landmarks has been going on for centuries. All right. And people were known by the lands that they dwelled in. Their religion, their family, originally started by their family, what nation they're from, then became a thing of religion. All right, there's different avenues how everybody looked upon each other. The last thing in the list was the color of their skin, but the color of their skin did play a significant part when it came to name calling. Why would Benjamin Franklin use the term swarthy, which means dark skin? All right, they didn't mean dark skin and like a tan. I mean dark skin as black. All right, why did he use that color? Or why did they call the Negroes Negroes? Negro just means black. All right, Moor means black. Right? It's because majority of those people that ran things and it was of the world with people of color. There's no secret. And because it came from Africa, they act like Africa is the only place that had dark skinned people. No. You go to India, people of India have darker skin. The original Chinese, they were dark skinned people. Everybody around the world was originally dark skinned. It says, but the just shall live by faith. We're going back to Habakkuk 2 and 4. Say, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, which is his philosophies, he is a proud man that neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's exactly what's going on. That's Esau's MO. His MO is to have the majority of the people. He don't want people to separate. Oh, separation is a bad thing. And they want separation, but they don't want separation. Because if a nation is isolated, it thrives. But if you infiltrate with your philosophies, democracy, and you push this whole narrative of everybody's on one people and nobody prosper. Only people that prosper is the people that's on top. That's a scam that has been run for decades, centuries. And that's how they got the majority of the people. So it's not surprising they're doing this stunt because this is part of the order out of chaos. To piss off the people that already feel like they're losing, who believe in their nonsense of the superiority complex. Now that they see that they're being threatened, when they're like, oh, Trump was right. He's an idiot, but he was right. Nah. And what's causing all this shit, obviously, is the rats that wear the small hats. Because once you have war, people move. They don't stay in one location. They go to different places that seemingly is free of war. But when everybody's at war, you know where you go will be free. And like to say, the ultimate goal is to have everybody be confused, and why the people in that land of Israel, they thrive. They thrive. All right. Oh, the world's overpopulated according to their logics, but they can have multiple children. But the world's overpopulated. They can't whatchamacall them, because the simple fact is they're not blessed people. All right. They want to depop the majority of the people of the world by sterilizing the people of the world. But the Lord see right through them. So the Operation Depop is fully in place. Operation of race war is fully in place. Because when people are cornered and they believe the nonsense is being told, there's too many people, there's this, there's that, there's not enough space, there's not enough food, people are going to take matters into their own hand. When henceforth, this man, what is this man all about? He's about war, confusion. Second, Revelation 6 and 4 says, and then went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. So when you take peace from the earth, what's left? War. And that they shall kill one another. And he orchestrates every single thing that goes wrong in this world, and cause every single thing that goes wrong and heighten it, right? He heightens people's prejudice. He heightens people's differences. Okay, the lower level, the nobodies amongst you, they see they world crumbling, but the upper rich class, the elites, they think that the puppet masters is pulling the strings, and they cause all you people to go out there and do the most foolish things. This is, and there was given unto him a great sword, which was what? Those ICBM nuclear missiles. So this man is the master of confusion, the warmongers, all right? And that's all they're doing. There's going to be more things that's humanly impossible to take place. And all these people doing, and when I mean these people, the rats that wear the small hats, Revelation 20 and 7, I believe. It said, and then went up, and when 1,000 years were expired, that's why going into the iconoclasm, all right, the Russian icons, proving that they were people of color that was running things, kings, princes, queens. They were dark-skinned men and women that sat in the highest seat in Europe. And via the bubonic plague and other things that took place, they lost that power. All right. And they ran Europe more than 1,000 years, different sect from Christians to Muslims, which were Moors. Europe was ran by dark-skinned men. So Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and Satan was loose. 1492 proves it, because they didn't just figure out, oh, the world the world's flat and you're gonna fall off the edge of the world. Nah, they came out like a bat out of hell once they find out there was other lands, which prior to the people that was running Europe already knew that it was other lands. So everything that this man did, he did it because maybe somebody else did the hard work and he took credit for it. And once he came into this side of the world, what did he do? He destroyed every fucking thing. It says, and they shall go out to deceive the nations. And that's exactly what's happening. This is why you have nations not called by their biblical name, but called by new names. All right? Calling a Chinese man Chinese, which they are Moabites. They had a biblical name. All right? The original Europeans were Japhetic people. Or but there was no J's in the Hebrew. But that's who they were. They was the sons of Yapat, which was what term Japhet. All right. They were also dark skinned people. This man has literally turned everything upside down. Matter of fact, so he has gone out to deceive the nations. And one of the main things he have done, Isaiah 25 and 7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that spread over all nations. So a covering cast and a veil is what? To hide something. He has blindsided everybody, which is causing all this mass confusion. Tell me I'm lying. If you tell when they said, oh, prime example, here in the United Snakes of America, the southern border is being overran by Mexicans. What logical sense does that make? Was not the Mexicans originally from here? You get it, and that is one thing that they've been trying to fight against. Our country is being invaded by whom? The only person that really invaded this country was Esau, the Edomites. All right, who came here unannounced and stole this land and committed the most heinous act in human history on this land. Who's the biggest terrorist? Is it not the rats that wear the small hats? Somebody was watching did the statistics of how many, I'll say, Hamas killed and how much that state killed. It was like, I would say 10-1, okay, in the favor of the people that's controlling everything. But who's spinning the story? So the Lord is destroying that cover. He's destroying everything, and the people and the world sees you. And we ain't no fools. We see what the angle, how they try to present it. It's always been about making themselves look beyond. They've been making themselves look as if they did no wrong. They're the most greatest people. They're being subjugated. They play the role of the victim and the aggressor. And it's just not that rats that wear the small hats. It's that whole entire race of people, which are Edomites that I speak of. You have Edomites that look like Israelites. So that seed, that rotten seed, has spun this story for a long time. And they're just trying to bring chaos to this world. And they will. All right. So that being said, something real quick to the spirit. Yeah, look up I did Google it. It was Benjamin Franklin who wrote a letter about the Swarthy. Said the Spaniards, the Russians. Saying those are people. Swarthy means black people. You know, so the jig is up. That being said, shalom to the elected nations. Shalom.